As Lauren said, my name is Karen Ford. It's nice to be here. I'm actually really excited to hear from my fellow panelists because they both have a background in ELL, and I am an ELA teacher, and I have ELL students, but I don't have a background in ELL. So it'll be interesting to see, how that works. So I'm excited to be here, as I said. I'm going to share my screen. So the three things that I'm going to talk about are the middle school benchmark assessments that are mostly vocabulary oriented in terms of skills and content, formative passage based questions for comprehension. These are great for exit slips or warm ups. And then grading writing with a rubric for summative assessments. So as we all know, it's really important this year to determine prior knowledge. What are the kids missing? Tip on a typical year, you can see you have a sort of range of what kids are coming into seventh grade with. And this year there just isn't that based on, the half year we got of, full-time education. Certainly in Massachusetts, I'm assuming it's similar in other states. Um, so one of the things that I would love to just sort of emphasize is that the the tool is an easy interface. The Edulastic tool is an easy interface. Um, I'm not sure. I've been using it for years, for I want to say 7 or so years. So I've gotten used to it, I think maybe, but I think also it's gotten a lot more intuitive. And also that YouTube link that Ileana shared at the beginning is so helpful. There are these 2-minute videos. If you're wondering like what a type of question is called, then you can check on the YouTube and follow it very easily. It's very user friendly. It's a super user friendly tool. Um, the other thing that I really like about the tool is that there's a variety of questions that are sort of I think it holds student interest, but also it's great for practicing on sort of the bigger scale tests. For our state, it's the MCAS, but for the standard based testing, it's great for the kids to tackle that. So in the diagnostic, I'm just going to give you an example of we had a literary element diagnostic. So we don't know what kids know this year about literary elements. So and then that data that we get will help to inform where we're going to go this year in terms of either brand new teaching or reinforcing what they already know and extending what they already know. And then the beauty of this is that you have the test on hand with all of the data so that you can reassign it at the end of the year to measure growth. So I'm going to hold on. I'm going to show you sort of what it looks like just to get a feel for it. Um, I love how the questions are varied and interesting. So this would be, matching the literary elements to the definition that fits, and the kids can, the this would be protagonist in case anybody's wondering. Oh, didn't get it. It'll go. There. So, and see how you have to kind of fool around with it. And that's what kids have to do on all of these digital tests. So it's important that they get these sort of low stakes practice moments. And then there you can do, the typical multiple choice and um I had a lot of multiple choice in this one, I guess. There's true false. You can put the plot elements in order or, just anything in order. So that I think is a really good, I can see that being a good fix for like, science based things as well as, what happens in a plot or anything. Um, and then you have this, you could choose more than one. Um, And then, there's more matching, and then I'll submit it. I don't think I got a good grade on it. It's okay. Okay. The thing's going. Hold on. Sorry. There we go. So That's the sort of plug for the diagnostic, because the data that you get, so I can show you, I have to exit. The data, in the assignments, you have a dashboard with assignments, and you can see, in grading. I'm gonna, put it in present mode. So then you can see I just put this in present mode, so the kids can also see this diagnostic, which is super helpful, because it's anonymous, so you're not sharing anybody's information on the screen. Okay, I may have gotten ahead of myself. Sorry. Um, I also like to do, um, exit slips and warm ups just to determine comprehension. Um, For warm-ups, I like to know who's done the reading for from the night before, and if there are any misconceptions or anything that I need to clear up. And once again, there's that immediate data to share with the class anonymously. Um, so for example, when I have data that looks like this, I can say to the class, "Oh boy, it looks like about half of you got it wrong. How can we fix this? What was the misinterpretation?" And we go through that one more carefully. Um, and here I'd be like, some people had misconceptions, so we can go through the testing as well as the content in the test. Maybe it was test taking. That's one of the things that we always remind the kids. Just stop at A because it seems like it might be right, and you also don't go to D at the bottom because it says all of the above. That's one of the sort of things that we work on in addition to content and curriculum are the skills of test taking. So I feel like Edulastic does a great job with that. Um, and then one of the things that has been uh, phenomenal this that um, I think Edulastic always does a really good job of listening to your questions and fixing. It's definitely a living piece of technology, because whenever I've had a question, people get back like within seconds. You press the little question mark and people are always there. But also, if you're like, wait, I don't like how this works, they really listen and respond. And every year there's updates and fixes. The best thing for me is that it fixes your mistakes in grading. So, for example, if you're, like, oh, wait a minute, I wanted to make a test, and you go through quickly and then you clicked the wrong answer, and you've got, every person lining up at your desk saying, "Oh, wait, Mrs. Ford, I thought it was right." Then you can look and say, "Oh, yeah, no, you were." And you fix it, and it automatically fixes all of the assignments. So that it wasn't like that before, but now it is, and it's phenomenal. That's a huge seller for me. Um, what I like to do is I like to watch as the students are working, and I can see their progress and show it. As I said, you can show their work on the board, anonymously, and once again revisit a point to ensure comprehension for the whole class. Um, and then for grading writing with a rubric for any sort of summative assessment, I think is really, really important. And it's um you can load in any rubric as you're creating the assessment for the prompt. They also have MCAS released passages when it comes time for, like the MCAS boot camps that we all sort of run, I think. So you can load in the MCAS rubric and students get real practice, and real feedback. So I actually loaded a couple of screenshots. So, um, for example, this is the one. I don't know if anybody else is a middle school teacher, but this was like kind of a famous one. So it's a paired text question. So it says, be sure to include evidence from both the article and the poem to develop your story. Um, and then what I did was this is the content and this is the grammar. And the screen goes off a little bit further, but it goes, the 5 points and the 3 points for um, what's being measured in terms of the rubric. So you get your state rubric and you can put it in, and it makes the grading and the feedback for the students really strong.